All right. Week 2 post-cerebral angiogram. I feel great. That probably doesn't look convincing or sound convincing, but I do, all things considered. I feel as great as I'm going to. Not too great today, given that it is raining. I want to do a video, I probably will later, about the effects of rain and barometric pressure on folks who have IH, because it is a doozy. It is raining here, and so I'm not feeling my best. Yeah. Luckily, since today was Emgality Day, that did take some of the edge off, so that's helpful. But no. But luckily, from the cerebral angiogram side, that recovery has been pretty good. Still a little sore. Still have some pain in my leg. Not having to ice as much, which is good. Still ice a couple times a day, but I'm not having any lingering pain. Don't have any bruising at all. The mark has gone away, so that's pretty good. It really wasn't as bad as I thought. I really don't have any recollection of that procedure. Like, trying to think about what happened, don't have any recollection. It's still kind of insane that they put a catheter in my leg and in my wrist, and they went up to my brain while I was awake. That is still insane to me. Like, the way my life has changed in 1 year, crazy. This year is still wild. Being a grad student on top of that, still kind of crazy. Probably going to do a video on how my life has changed in terms of school. Yeah, wild. But anyway, there is some slight cramping that I get in my right. So they went in my right leg in the femoral artery, and so I get some cramping in that leg and in my hip. I notice it especially after driving, and I don't do too much driving. I've had a couple of errands to run, and I usually don't do them all at once. I've spread them out to be like one a day, so I've noticed it like when I come back from the store, and so kind of curious about what that is. The doctor says that's normal, but for the most part, just taking it easy. I've started cooking more, but cooking easy stuff like tacos, and that's really the only meal that I've cooked. Or I did like what is that word? And see, now we are seeing in real time how the topiramate works with my brain fog and how it messes with word recollection, because I'm trying to think of the word for I can see it right now. Skillet. I couldn't think of the word for skillet. I did one pan chicken and rice dish in a skillet. So just doing easy stuff like that this week, stuff that I don't have to do a lot of stirring and that sort of stuff. So just cooking those 2 meals this week. Things that I didn't have to stand a lot and do a lot of chopping, because the constant motion and repetition, and that really was bothering me. And then the standing a lot and standing in one place, and then taking quick walks. I don't think I walked more than a mile. Just a little under a mile. That was really as much as I did. Didn't want to push too hard. I think next week I might try to push it to a mile, maybe a little longer. Call it a day. That's enough. And so right now I'm just kind of waiting to hear back. Well, not even waiting to hear back. Waiting to get into the allergist. I go to the allergist because I have a nickel allergy. I'm allergic to a bunch of things. Nickel being one of them. I've been allergic to nickel since I was a kid. So have to go to the allergist so that they test that. And so if you have a nickel allergy, you can get tested for that. It's really not that serious because nickel allergies are dermal, meaning skin allergies, and it shouldn't interact with brain matter since the stent is going into your brain. But I wanted to get tested for that because the way my life is set up, I have a tendency to be the one person that reacts and has the rarest of the rare things, and I didn't want to be the person that would have an adverse reaction. So I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and get tested. So they're sending me to the allergist, and after I go to the allergist, then they're going to schedule my surgery, because if it does come back that I am allergic to nickel, they're going to use, I forget what metal he said they're going to use for the stent, but they'll use that and do it. So I figure I've been living with this condition for, I mean, at its worst, the past year, but realistically, I've been living with it for longer than that. So, here we go. So, what's living with it for a little while longer? I can wait. So, hey, we'll get it all figured out. The one thing that I am grateful for, still, and will always be grateful for, is that they found out that there's something wrong. And that I do have transverse sinus stenosis on both sides. The right side is worse than the left, but very grateful that it's on both. Well, not like grateful that it's on both, but that now I have it in my chart that it's there, and that these doctors, there are 4, who told me that I don't have IIH, because I really want to go back and say, hey, remember, oh my God, this phone. Remember in that appointment when you told me I don't have IIH and I just have a headache or a migraine condition? Well, hey, I actually do have it. So, I guess we just kind of wait. So the point of getting a stent is the stent will hopefully take care of the pulsatile tinnitus, because right now it is so loud. I haven't heard peace, like silence in my head. Honestly, I've been living with this for a long time. Like, I hear my eyeballs all the time. Like, when my eyes move from left to right, I hear it. I hear this, like, crunchy noise, like when I move my neck. I hear it. I hear this whooshing noise. But I hear all of these little things all the time. When I'm laying down, like right now, if I take my AirPods out, and if I just want to nap, I have to turn on something because I'm going to hear the noise because of how my ear is pressing against the pillow. I don't just hear silence. So that's annoying. But I haven't heard silence in such a long time. So hopefully that will take care of that. Hopefully opening this vein up will help and take care of the pressure headaches, because now I'll be at a normal pressure. Hopefully that'll help take care of the constant nausea. I have been constantly nauseous for the last 3 years. Actually, no, longer than that. Probably 5 or so, whatever. I've had issues with food and nausea and stomach issues dating back to when I was a teacher, and I started teaching in 2014. So hopefully this will help take care of all of these issues and at least get them to a manageable level. I've had a daily headache every day for the last at least 3 years, but I've had a headache off and on for at least probably 5. So, hopefully this will take care, at least get this to a manageable level to where life is enjoyable again. So hopefully this kind of fixes things.